Shalawam, shalawam. First and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barak, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, and GMS that rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam, you citizen Aki. I'm out there pushing and preaching this 100% doctrine. Shalawam. Hey, let's get into this one, man. Already, let's go.
Inflict maximum harm. That's what former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev is urging his country to do to the United States to avenge the U.S. Treasury Department's new sanctions on Russia. Now, these sanctions have sent fear and anxiety through Russia's financial system. State media has reported that major banks were blocking customers from withdrawing cash, and that was coming from state media, so consider that. It comes as Putin is sending a nuclear-powered sub and other warships to Havana, just 90 miles off the Florida coast. But what is so striking about Russia's massive show of force that we can all see right now off the U.S. coast is the truth, the reality of Putin's Navy, a fleet that's been decimated since the beginning of the war with Ukraine. Fred Pleitgen is out front.
Ukrainian sea drones racing to attack a Russian warship near Crimea in the Black Sea. The cheap unmanned vessels have allowed Ukraine to decimate Vladimir Putin's Black Sea fleet. Their weapons are not designed to deal with such small sea drones, the soldier says. In most cases, they use anti-ship guns. It's a far cry from the power Moscow is trying to project not far from the U.S.'s shores, sending some of their most advanced warships to Cuba. Russia's Ministry of Defense saying that the frigate and a nuclear-powered sub, quote, practice the use of high-precision missile weapons by computer-based maritime simulation at the ship-based groupings of a mock enemy. Vladimir Putin has invested heavily in Russia's Navy, which now has a permanent base in Syria and boasts hypersonic missiles. It's no paper tiger, but also not an invincible force, as Ukraine has shown. Ukraine's sea drones, as well as sabotage and air-launched missiles, have destroyed about one-third of Russia's Black Sea fleet since the spring of 2022, Ukraine says, including large landing ships like this one, blown up in Crimea at the end of last year, and submarines destroyed in a dock. The Russians have even lost the flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, the Moskva, to what Kiev says was an attack by Ukrainian-made missiles. And the fleet's headquarters in Sevastopol was struck by missiles last year. The repeated humiliations pushing Russian ships further and further away from Ukraine, and eventually leading to the dismissal of Russia's Navy chief in March. Not so long ago, Russian state media would celebrate the Navy's single aircraft carrier, the Admiral Kuznetsov, the jewel in the crown. But the ship has long been plagued by mechanical problems and has been in dock for years in Murmansk. Some Western analysts predict it will never set sail again. Despite Putin's glorification of Russia's naval prowess, many of its warships appear vulnerable to both air and sea attacks and lack the technology to compete with Western navies or even cheap maritime drones made in Ukraine. And Aaron, the Ukrainians say that while the Russians might be gaining ground in other areas, they feel that they've really hurt Moscow's Black Sea fleet and essentially rendered it ineffective. And the Ukrainians say they will continue to develop those sea drones to hurt Vladimir Putin's naval forces even more. Aaron?
All right, Fred, thank you very much.
Patrick, if everybody is downplaying this, why did the Russians send this armada, it almost looks like an armada, to Havana?
Well, let me show you a little bit of that armada because, yes, it's true what Cubans say that other militaries send ships on friendly visits, but not like this. There has never been a nuclear submarine, I'm told, docked in the port of Havana, as you have behind me there. The submarine Kazan, really just a breathtaking sight when it came in to the harbor yesterday to see such a massive weapon of war. To the other side of it, on the other side of the pier, that is a Gorshkov, Jim, and I should highlight this because this is one of the most modern ships the Russian Navy, Vladimir Putin, has. And let me tell you a little bit about this. It can send hypersonic missiles. It has tested hypersonic missiles. Those fly at a speed of about 6,000 miles per hour. It's not believed that the U.S. has any weapon system that can counter those hypersonic missiles. Jim, point of reference, I'm in Havana, you're in Washington, D.C. You're only a little bit over 1,000 miles away. A weapon system that can counter those hyper...
Hey, so we'll get into it. I ain't got to show the whole video. You know, if y'all want to, I'll put it in the link. But basically, It's a lot of downplaying. Understand, let's get the word propaganda, man. Okay? Let's go get the word propaganda. Right? Before we even get to any of that. Propaganda. Go.
Propaganda.
Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. So back in the day, maybe you can get some images, things like this, man. They used to post, they used to promote a certain view of things just so it would keep these American citizens in the sheep cages that they're in, man. All right? Oh, America, nobody's gonna be able to defeat us. We're etc. etc. Propaganda, man. All right? So keeping you trapped in your cage. All right? So that's all it is. I want you, U.S. Army, enlist now. Not realizing that you serving Satan. You in the most wickedest, most corrupt military in the world. But Uncle Sam, that's the guy. Uncle Sam, man. You know, it's my time in the military, man. It was some guys in there that's Joe Navy, man. And then some guys in there that just don't give a damn. They hate it. They just didn't get the paycheck. You know? And I understand that. Don't never get Joe Navy and some shit. Well, fuck this place. What has this place done? What has America done for us? Nothing. Nothing. Now, understanding that a lot of this video was propaganda. But at this point, I'm going to let it play one more time because this is the gem of it.
A weapon system, sonic missiles, and has tested hypersonic missiles. Those fly at a speed of about 6,000 miles per hour. It's not believed that the U.S. has any weapon system that can counter.
Boom. So, long-range missions, anti-submarine warfare, surface-to-surface, and surface-to-air missiles. These hypersonic missiles, the U.S. can't mess with. They can't mess with on a war. On a war basis. Alright? They don't have no defense to stop them. Let's go to Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations. We knowing this to be BRICS nations. Alright? China, Russia, Iran, India, all these nations that are aligning with Russia and China, you know, to do America harm. Alright? From the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. And how were these created? Let's go get that in Job. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi allowed these things to be created. Alright? Verse 22. Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahawah power, Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So in the midst of your so-called beast system and all of this, you believe that you're good. Eating his belly means that he's basically, his plan has been executed and it's almost at the prime. It's almost at the climax, right? You could look at a movie, you know, you think it's all over, but boom, it's not. Okay, somehow the hero comes out and wins. And that's what it is, Yahawashi. Okay? That's the main character in this movie, in Yahawah's movie. Alright? So, boom, when they about to eat, it's over. They shall what? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Them hypersonic missiles, those ICBM missiles. They have a sub. They came with a sub. That's what he said. Let's run this back.
A weapon system. Highlight this because when it came in to the harbor yesterday to see such a massive weapon of war to the other side of it, on the other side of the pier, that is a Gorshkov, Jim. And I should highlight this because this is one of the most modern ships the Russian Navy, Vladimir Putin,
hurt Vladimir Putin's naval force.
It almost looks like an armada to Havana.
Well, let me show you a little bit of that armada because, yes, it's true what Cubans say that other militaries send ships on friendly visits, but not like this. There has never been.
I love that part. Not like this. And as I showed, that's one of their most high-tech ships. And then they got a sub with nukes on it. It has nuclear capability. Okay? They have a sub with nukes sitting off the coast of Cuba. Right here. And you know how close Cuba is to America? And you could take a boat from Florida to Cuba easily and get there within a day. Okay? It doesn't take that long. And these missiles that they have, they showed you the Satan II. They showed you these missiles that they have traveling 20,000 miles per hour. So if it takes them about 30 minutes to an hour to attack America from Russia, how long is it going to take them when they're right beside America? All right? This place could be over in 5 minutes, if that, right? But we know the will of the Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is he doesn't want that to happen yet because they got to get to eating. They got to get about to fill their belly. They got to be in all sufficiency, okay? So let's go back over to that Jeremiah. All right. 1 second. Let's keep going. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All the spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahawah. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of my heritage. Because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellows as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So let's precept that. Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 18. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountain shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah, Yahawah, shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of Yahawah. All right? And shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt, same place. Babylon, America, shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, same place. For the violence against the children of Yahawah, because they have shed innocent blood in their hand. Right? And how do we know it's the same place? Let's take it over to Revelations 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also Yahawashi HaMashiach was crucified. Okay? So understanding that, this place, America, is it. This place, America, will be a desolate wilderness. So, for all you people that's running on with that doctrine, the lake of fire burns forever, no, continue to read. You got to go past that, man. Stop taking what the Edomites is telling you, that you're going to be in hell burning forever. You in hell right now. In a sense, in a spiritual sense, if you blocked and you in the darkness, then you in a low part of hell. All right? King David prayed that he wouldn't be, put in a low part of hell. All right? When Jonah was in the well, he was in a sense of hell. Okay? Being in desolation, being in despair, being away from Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, being in the world, being unconnected. All right? Now, this place, man, is pretty much gone. Okay? So what we looking at is tensions rising. Tensions rising. And we know Ezekiel 38 is true to it. Okay? Verse 3. And say, thus saith Yahawah, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Yahawah is going to use Russia to get rid of America. He's going to use the UK. They shall hate the whore, right? Revelation 17 chapter. He shall use these nations, but these nations also going into slavery. Okay? And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth in all thine armies, all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tagamoth of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Alright? These are other nations. These are other nations that are going to be joined. Once again, we said BRICS nations. Other nations that are joining, aligning with Russia for the destruction of America. The entire planet will hate America, the whore. Understanding what she has been doing, understanding how she has brought them down and brought them low and influenced and basically destroyed everything that was good. Family values, the sacred bond between man and woman, right? Brought all this wickedness and crime and things like that, right? You know, the origin of wickedness. Esau, Edom is that origin. Now that evil seed was sown into Adam, according to 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter, yeah, by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And understanding that Yahweh used Esau, Edom to bring it upon by talking to Eve and pushing that doctrine on her. And she pushed that doctrine to Adam, and he fell. He was allowed to fall, right? Then they continued via Amos 1st chapter, right? Their wickedness. They continued via Obadiah, you know, their wickedness. They are bandits of the earth. That's all they do. And I'm gonna let's go get Revelations 18 and we'll wrap it up. All right. Just want to get one verse, man. One verse. Right here. Actually two. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power hath remembered her iniquities. Your sins have reached unto heaven. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi knows, and he knows all. The heavens are talking about this place and her wickedness. The Halalyam looking down. Look at Babylon. Look at the whore. Look how bad she is. Look how wicked she is. Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Right? So all this wickedness that she got, that she brought, she's going to get back double. Twice that. You know, I was listening to a brother the other day talking about the heathen's going to be straight. Now the heathen's going into slavery. All right? Because they had their hands on us as well. They touched us as well. They touched up our chin as well. All right? And we didn't have no defense. They led us in the stray as well. All right? And we went off our damn selves. Okay? That's why we being punished. But the heathen's going straight into slavery. Now, after that 1,000-year period, they'll be allowed to go back into their lands, but they still got to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. And if they got a problem with that, man, they can go in the lake of fire. All right? You know, we will rule. We the rulers. We the kings. We the priests. Not them. Okay? Honestly, I give a flying fuck about the heathens and the Edomites. I don't care. Okay? You got to get in that rulership mind state, man. We not in solemn. We ain't in you know, we ain't in control right now. We don't have authority right now, so we understand that. And we take this punishment with our chest out, our chin up as grown men. And we make sure and we watch over our families and protect them the best that we can through the strength and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? At the end of the day. So, hey, just keep that strength, man, and keep enduring as you're supposed to. Continue to be a watchman. And let these tensions continue to rise. And let this MOT continue to go and spread. And these semiconductor companies build it up and get it in production and get it ready. Because when it becomes mandatory and when everybody's going over to the draft, everybody's going in the draft, all right, we know these are the times, these are the signs and wonders, all right? So with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Vakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us is true. Shalawam to the elect. Hey, Kwam Yasharahla, Abba Ball. Shalawam.